Good morning, Steve Good with the Coin Chat with our friends from Holochain. Welcome back, Moritz.
Hey.
It's a pleasure. You had an amazing evening last night. This is so awesome to have you on the show after winning the awards.
Yes.
What was that like? Tell us.
It was pretty hilarious, actually, because I was actually the one who nominated Holochain to be a candidate for this.
Right.
And ended up making the selection for the three that were going to be selected from. And it was pretty surreal to actually walk onto the stage, accept the award for Holochain, and then to be given an acceptance speech after me having been the one who's nominated. So,
That is incredible. So tell us what the categories that you were competing in.
well, it just was one category. It was
Okay.
the Disruptor of the Year 2019 award.
Right.
And we were going up against Bitcoin.com and Amon. And so,
Well, a
Bitcoin.com
no-brainer. So of course Holochain was going to win.
You are too charitable, but yes, Bitcoin.com actually won another category, so I think we're good with this one.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So what are the plans for Holochain now that we've won the competition?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we've set a pretty high bar for what happens next year
Right,
if you want to
right.
win again. So what's on the agenda now for the Holochain and the Holo environment team?
Well, I want to develop the conversation in a direction, or steward the conversation as well, sort of in a way, in a direction where we're actually going to try to make the first unforking of a community happen.
The unforking of a
Yes.
community.
So-
So how do you unfork a community? I know this is breakfast, so this is not the time to have inappropriate conversations.
But, well, think about it, like forking a community happens when a community is unable to tell a story that represents all of the sort of needs and wants and desires and visions that
Right.
people share in a community. And so that's when a split happens, when a fork happens.
Right.
That happens on the social level first and then on the technological level, right?
Right.
And so we have had something like this also happen in the Holo community. We
Right.
had some people after the ICO leave the project because there was sort of an inability of us to tell our story in a way that would help everybody understand, okay, we need to now move in this direction.
Right.
We need to actually build corporate infrastructure. We need to be able to interface with the legal system, with the financial system, which so far we hadn't really done that much
Right.
because we were mostly a volunteer-driven research project.
Right.
And so now I'm starting to see that the story we need to tell has to be more than us, right?
Yes.
We have to be talking about bringing crypto forward as a whole, and then of course
And
the
bringing
world
the
as
community
well.
with you.
Yes,
Right.
and then to actually build the bridge. Yesterday in my acceptance speech, I talked about it was the disruptor.
So here's a question. Did you actually have the speech pre-written?
No, well, I was sitting at the.
It's like, oh my God, I have to say something.
Well, I was sitting at the gala award table, like
Right.
one of the tables where we got dinner, and I was thinking, okay, if I accept this, if I end up being selected, or if Holochain ends up being the winner, I need to be able to say something, right? And so I just quickly pulled out my phone, I put a little note, and I wrote like, okay, this maybe. And so then I had that done. I went there, I accepted the award, and I said basically this: thanks for this award. Let's not only disrupt everybody out there, the world, but also continue to disrupt ourselves.
Yep.
And let's not only disrupt everything, but also build bridges so that the people who are currently not where we are
Yeah.
can walk with us to this new world.
Awesome,
Right?
yeah.
And so this is, I think, an understanding that the crypto community as a whole has to build and sort of really take into itself, and not be only at the sort of adolescent, powerful forward movement stage,
Yeah.
where like you have lots of power available and you want to do stuff and you're doing lots of stuff, but you can't really translate that power into something that ends up building those new foundations for a new world.
Right.
And so we need to get to people to actually grow up and to take responsibility for translating the energy we have
Right.
into actual solutions,
For
problem
sure.
solutions.
I think one of the themes that I've been seeing a lot here in Malta, and I'm sure you'll probably agree that this resonates a lot, is the issue around adoption.
Yes,
And then
yes,
we've
yes.
heard a lot of projects focusing on blockchain, and somehow we've completely forgotten about the adoption and the users that actually want to use the platform
Yes.
that don't understand anything, and all we need
They
are
make
apps
all their pitches
or
based on
hacks or
blockchain,
dApps.
you know?
Right, and they've
Like-
forgotten about let's just build a UI, let's build an application
Right.
that's usable, and
Right.
blockchain should be powering it rather than be the be-all, end-all.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of funny. Like, I see when I walk around the conference, I see virtually like maybe 50-60% of projects that have their booth there. They're just there to sell.
Yeah.
That's their self-perception.
Yes.
Right. And it makes actual
find me,
relationships.
talk to me. I'm good. I want to be.
And then they
I
pay
want to
like,
be. Yeah.
then they pay like a girl to walk around with a big cleavage.
Yeah,
and to
I know.
attract
There's a lot of that. I
attention.
know.
And, like we were just joking, like that's
too
just
many-
not to put the Bitcoin in, you know.
But just because my wife will of course want to know more, it's whether or not we've been looking, and the answer is no, of course not. We've been very, very good, and of course because she's our CMO for my show and now working with Holochain, then she's probably very happy to see that.
Hashtag crypto mafia.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all become a bit of a crypto community of mafia. Now we're all working together somehow in a crazy way.
What I really want to say is that we need to move on as a community and as an industry from just sort of selling to people and arbitraging the attention they have available by like, oh, look at us, 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 to putting out information that is meaningful, that has actual informational content, not just sales content. Like Vinay Gupta was talking about this yesterday at the acceptance at the award for media that he gave out to people. So we as an industry have to build media that actually informs people, so that we as an industry can trust the information that is being put out and build based on that information, rather than build based on information that people are putting out because they have something to gain from putting out the information.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
And so if we do that well, then we can have companies and contributors and fans and the community come together around shared visions, around shared deep relationships like you and I are starting to develop with this stuff. And then to know
part of the mafia, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And then to know that, okay, over time, we won't be drawn away from each other because money is involved here and the new shiny thing happens over here.
Right.
But rather we have powerful relationships, and based on that we can then build whatever ventures, whatever efforts, whatever product end up being valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is great. I mean, I'm really excited to see that you guys have won this, and of course, we've had you on the show multiple times now.
Yes.
So we foresaw the inevitable, of course.
Yes, you were the early adopters.
Early adopters. Well, we've had David on the show.
Forwards.
I think 3 times David Atkinson's been on the show. So shout out to David, of course.
Yes.
And Mary has been on the show, and wonderful. So shout out to Mary. And now you've been on twice, so we've oversaturated, or perhaps not oversaturated, our Holo discussions.
Now you'll have to talk about some other projects as well to maintain your air of independence.
Well, it is independent. I mean, you won the awards.
Your thinly veiled air.
We can't claim any influence on the world.
But this is the thing. You don't have to be independent from everything.
No.
You just have to show these are our interests.
Yeah.
Please understand, this is what we're doing, and you have to make your own decisions on the information you're putting out.
I mean, to be honest,
Reveal your advice.
The whole point for us is we identify what we think are projects that are focused on adoption, and we spend our time there because that's what it's all about, and that's why we spend time with Roger Ver and with Brock and with Tone Vase, because everybody that we're talking to, everybody wants different communities, everybody wants adoption, everybody wants to get it. Oh, did we lose the video? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, everybody wants adoption. Everybody wants it working, and it's the only way that's going to happen is if we all reshape our thinking process away from blockchain, and actually start thinking about what do we need to do to remind ourselves that only 0.7% of the population roughly is even using crypto or blockchain or even understands it, and how do we address the other 99% who've been left behind, and the idea is we don't want them to be left behind, we want them to be included.
Right, but the inclusion doesn't happen by saying you have to buy my token.
No.
But instead it is all about
give them an app they can work with, right?
Actually help them develop their own sense of agency in the world. They are a powerful actor in their world and in the world as such, and then to empower them, and then they will be grateful for the people who have empowered them.
Totally.
And then we have actually a much more ready community of people on which we can build an actual strong, stable foundation for changing the world. Right? So
change the world. That's how we're going to. Well, listen, Moritz, it's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations again to Holochain and Holo for winning the award at the Malta Blockchain Summit. And of course, we'll be back in 6 months probably to go for it again. And thanks everyone for watching in, and to the moon.
See ya.
Until next time.